Hello, I'm DM Wisdom, and welcome to Agranak Studios. Make sure you sign up for the Agranak Studios newsletter at agranak.com. Today, I want to talk about the 3 books that kind of saved my ass in last night's session.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss an upload, and join the conversation over at the Agranak Cult Discord. Alright, let's talk about the 3 books that saved your ass last night.
Alright, let me preface it though. Sometimes it's difficult coming up with ideas for your campaign, or even connecting the dots of random things that are happening in your adventures, especially if you're going off the cuff and not doing pre-published adventures.
Yeah, I can see how that happens.
This can be something that comes up especially if your players are still interested in exploring certain themes, ideas, and situations that had already happened in the past.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean there.
Yeah, so a while back, the 3 characters in my weekly session encountered a ghost.
Nice.
And they were all aged rather extensively due to that encounter, like decades. And they don't necessarily like that their characters are a lot older than what they had wanted them to be to begin with.
Yeah, getting older's tough.
It's true, but to be honest, I forgot about it. But then a few sessions ago, the players started to remark on it, the aging problem and all of that. Then it was mentioned more, and then became a regular thing. So I knew this was something that they wanted to explore.
All right, 10 points to Gryffindor.
Yeah. They had talked to the town wizard, his name is Nilrem, and he said he would look into it, and that was, well, a few sessions back. Then he disappeared, until last session, when the town was under threat of being burned down by incendiary clouds that were hurling like fireball-like meteors out of it into the town.
Hell yeah, fire's always cool. Can't wait till my fire glands grow in, and then shit's gonna fucking blaze.
Whoa, easy there, Turbo. So the wizard stepped in to try to help with this problem. He appeared, and then after the players and this wizard and other people in the town dealt with the issue, their session ended. But this wizard was now available in their face.
Alright, yeah, seemed like a perfect setup, huh?
Yeah. So between sessions, I had some time to think about what was going on and what I was going to do, what things I was going to set up. Well, as you know, life gets busy, and though I had a few things that I wanted to see, I didn't have any of it really fleshed out. At least not enough for me.
Okay, and I'm guessing that's where the books came in.
Yeah, which is why I've spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on these books.
Yeah, they better get used, huh?
Absolutely. Just so that you're aware, I improv a lot at my game table. I really don't have to prep much, but when specific things happen, I like to be prepared and have answers to inevitable questions.
Ah, well, your smart meter's going up. That's nice.
Okay. So as many of you know, when you're a teenager playing RPGs, you can spend a lot of your time developing and planning and all of that. As an adult with a family, job, kids, even some of you may have a YouTube channel or other hobbies, some things suffer.
And it seems like your prep for D&D sometimes suffers.
Yeah, it does, which is where awesome resources come into play. And, I'm going to show you the 3 that I used last night. The One Ring, 2nd edition. Raging Swan Press's GM's Miscellany Wilderness Dressing, which is a system-neutral resource. And I had just gotten this in the mail, Knave, 2nd edition. Wonderful resources. Pick it up if you haven't already.
Nice.
So this problem with the aging seemed to be of great concern, so my thought was that the wizard would have the players go on some sort of fetch quest to get the saliva from an ancient primordial type of creature. But I wasn't ready for that yet. So, for last night's game, I set the players up through this wizard to find an orb that was part of his teleportation device that would teleport the characters to a predetermined location in the valley that they're adventuring in.
All right, a sort of fast travel device to break up the monotony of traveling from the same location every time they go out into the adventure location.
Yeah, exactly. What we're playing is a West Marches style game, so there's a lot of travel going on back and forth into this mysterious, dark, and dangerous valley called the Shattered Moon Vale. So long story short, I needed some tasty tidbits to give my players to entice them, and with the amount of things that I needed, I didn't have much time. I mean, the players were at the table doing our pre-game ritual of eating dinner as I took out these 3 books and rolled randomly to come up with some background. So I knew I needed a monster, but I didn't want to name it outright. I still don't, as they may watch this video.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, don't want to reveal too much here, do you?
Not at all. So I knew where to get my ultra mysterious creature name, the One Ring RPG 2nd edition from Free League. So here in the back, and this is a beautiful, wonderful, awesome, ridiculously cool book. Amazing art, amazing layout. Right here in the back, there's this wonderful generator, the nameless things in the One Ring. And I love nameless things because it gives an air of mystery.
Absolutely. If you don't know what you're going after, it can be very, very scary, especially for the players, let alone the characters.
Yeah. So with this, you can come up with awesome things that the creature is or the thing is referred to as. So for instance, I'll just roll randomly here. Here is a 5, the Devourer, and then a D6 in the water, and it's called that by the elves.
Oh, that's cool. I really dig that.
And then this will go into the thing can be described as, when first encountered, what will happen, rumors about the thing, where the thing is remembered, characteristics, attack forms, fell abilities. I didn't even need to go into that at this point. And so, yeah, we just started with this. This is one of the most awesome tables in this book. With my notes, session 17 here, here's me frantically writing down all of this information, what I had rolled, and I had an idea of what this thing would be, but I was able to roll just once. I didn't have to re-roll because it didn't fit. This one was called The Lurker in the Deep in Ancient Lore. So it was slug-like, number 3, and then I rolled a 6, which said yet greater, really speaking to its size.
Wow, I'm already getting a cool picture in my mind.
This is already what I've got going on. The stats of this creature doesn't have to be dealt with at this point. So I rolled on when first encountered. It says, feel a violent gust of wind on first encounter. I don't know if I'm going to use that yet. I'm still developing the monster that they're going to encounter. But yeah, I had that written down just in case.
Very cool.
So I didn't even roll on the second area, but just in case, that is a Gandalf rune, is a vision of a beautiful creature, a phantom of the mind. So I don't know if that would work in this situation. It could. Could be very interesting.
That's really cool. So what else?
So on the next one, table 4, a rumor about the thing. So when I rolled on this chart, I rolled an 8. This is what it says. Centuries ago, the thing dwelt in the darkest recesses of a valley on the east side of the Misty Mountains.
Well, that's interesting. You guys are playing in a valley, and that talks of a valley.
Yeah, so it totally fit just the theme right there, but obviously the Misty Mountains is not going to work for my game session, so I changed that. Then it goes on. One day, it came to a village of the woodmen when the hunters were away. When they returned, they were met by a gruesome scene. dismembered bodies, destroyed houses, a terrible smell that filled the air. No survivors.
No survivors? Well, how'd they find out about it?
Well, yeah, that's what I thought too. So I said that there was a single survivor. So this is what I have. Centuries ago, it dwelled on the south side of the Vale. Keeping with that location sort of thing, and then the Vale is what we call the valley where we adventured. So it destroyed the buildings, dismembered bodies, etc., but I said that all but one survived.
Okay, cool. Someone to tell the tale.
Exactly. And then I rolled over here. So I ended up rolling a 3 on this table to find out where the thing is remembered. It says, a sentence is carved onto the wall of a dark cave in the north, near the Grey Wastes. It reads, here, Belagorn, son of Bergil, of Dol Amroth, banished the thing from the abyss, but died of its foul wounds. Glorfindel of the elves retrieved his body to return to his family. So what I had said, and taken that as inspiration, and then also rolled on a random name table in Knave to get different names here. So I said, engraved on a wall, Erasmus Gidmarl banished the creature to the abyss, to be brought back again in 1,000 moons' time. So that gives us a timer, and wouldn't it so happen that it has been 1,000 moons' time? So, that creature is going to be available. That was what I got here. I had already had in mind that I wanted an orb to be the thing that the characters needed to get this time. So they have this. So the characters have this idea of what they need to do coming up. But I didn't want to do that encounter quite yet. I really want there to be a build-up to that battle.
Very good. Keeping the tension strong. I like that.
Yeah, so I wanted him to get this orb that would be the thing that actuates the travel, which is a teleportation device called the Ether Leap. Something I came up with is that I knew I wanted them to encounter what I'm calling a Cavendish mongrel, which will appear in a zine-sized book I am developing. But they are goblin-esque monsters that speak an uncommon language, are territorial, and love pipeweed. To add to it, they are sort of gremlin-like, standing about 3 feet tall or so.
All right, awesome. Something different from an actual goblin or a kobold that we usually see.
Yeah, so something that's different, which gives an air of mystery. So the wizard has said that you need to go to this little tribe of Cavendish mongrels, and you need to try and acquire basically the attunement crystal that these guys have. And he knows about this through researching, and he walks through the Shattered Moon Vale as well. So I knew that when the characters arrived, I would need some sort of feature that was unique to the area that I couldn't come up with while my players were chomping on their food and I was frantically trying to come up with what I needed. So I used the Wilderness Dressing book right here. A great series, and I can't tell you how many awesome things have come out of these Raging Swan Press books. Just go out and start buying them, PDF or print. They're wonderful.
Yeah, I reference them too, and they're definitely must-haves for random generator goodness to keep things fresh.
Absolutely. So I opened up to this area. We are in a forested and woodland sort of area, and I wanted some sort of dressing, something that it would look like. And I rolled a 75. This is what it says. You want to read it?
Sure. Blue moss covers the trees in the area. During the day, the PCs note nothing special about the moss, but at night it glows with the intensity of magical light. If the moss is deprived of daylight for 2 consecutive days, it loses the property until it again has a full day exposure to daylight.
Yeah, so I thought that was perfect. Took that, threw it on the trees in the area, and bam! We've got awesome dressing, a little tidbit for everyone.
Very nice.
So I did have some other things here where the Cavendish mongrels were not only rumored to have the orb, but I was going to have it so that after they talk with the mongrels and communicate in one way, shape, or form with a language that they don't understand, that they would tell the characters that it had been eaten by another monster that they would need to go and fight. But we didn't really have time for that last night, so I made the Cavendish mongrels the things that they had to fight. So there was a battle and all of that, and they were eventually victorious and got this yellow-green orb.
Awesome.
And so another thing, and really I only used Knave last night for the name generators. The players had decided that they wanted to hire some hirelings to come out with them, a mercenary type, and also a hedge wizard. And so I needed to come up with that on the fly and fast. This is the perfect book for that. I know there's fantasynamegenerators.com. I've used that a lot, but I like to keep things fresh and I want to reference different material. So I use the female names and the male names as well as the surnames. And what I came up with off of that was a female mercenary named Giselle Chumwell and a hedge wizard named Orvin Pensmark. And yeah, it was quite awesome to have all this stuff at my disposal. Now, given more time, like maybe an hour or two of prep, I could go in deeper, making bullet points and all of that. But in about 15 to 20 minutes, I was able to come up with everything that I needed for last night's session. So if you're interested in any of these books, there will be links in the dungeon for you to check out and get them for yourself if you would like. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Hey, if you're interested in any of these books, make sure you check the links in the dungeon.
All right, everyone. Thanks for stopping by Agranak Studios today, and we'll see you on the next one.
Later.
This video was brought to you by the generous support of our patrons. Consider becoming a patron so you can help us make more content like this. Or get yourself a t-shirt below. Later.
All right, do this and do that and do this and do that. And watch this video.